Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this week's episode of This or That. You got here my guy, Mr. Danny Murphy. He's made it down to the 5 studios. And then here on my left, we got here a friend of mine sometimes.
No, we're always friends. We're always friends.
Flex United from the United View. How you doing, bro?
You said good? I'm good.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to ask you questions of this or that, and then you guys just pick what you want. You can elaborate if you want. If you don't, it's up to you. Audience, let us know what you think as well. Their links are in the description. Okay, cool. What would you choose as your next trophy? The Premier League or the Champions League?
Premier League. For Man United, Premier League, absolutely. Haven't won it since 2013. It's been way too long, I think, to really start going in the right direction and to say that Manchester United are back, you know, or reinstated themselves. It has to be the Premier League. It's been far too long. And I think that's a really easy one for Manchester United fans.
Yeah, same. Premier League for Liverpool. We've won loads of Champions Leagues. I just think 1 in 30 years ain't enough for the quality we've had in recent years. Yeah, Premier League would be a big statement next season to bounce back from this one.
How far are you from winning the Premier League?
A striker. Some would argue a keeper, but I'm going to say a striker and some more midfielders.
What's some more midfielders need? You mean central midfielders or you mean your forwards?
Central midfielders, okay. Ball carriers, people who can dictate the play, people who can put foot on it and carry the ball.
Bellingham.
I thought he was going Liverpool, but I don't think that's...
Joe, I think Liverpool need 3 or 4.
Yeah, easly.
Midfield's a big area.
Yeah. You happy with the defence?
I think maybe a new centre half to compete with Virgil and Canati. Maybe Matip's. Maybe Matip's had his day. He's been great for us, but if you want to play high tempo, you need legs when you're defending.
Another right back, Dan?
Possibly.
Okay, that's a good point. Who would you keep next season? This one's directed to you.
All right.
Martial or Weghorst?
Oh, come on.
No, I think it's a fair question.
I'll be honest with you. Martial, honestly, mate. This season he's been made of glass. Ten Hag likes him, but I don't know, man. The question marks have been there for so long. Weghorst, another one, just shouldn't be there. Bless him. Nice guy. Wasn't his fault.
You're a nice guy, aren't you? That's what I mean. Can you play up top?
Exactly. Nice guy.
He's done all right.
Works his socks off, but he shouldn't be there. So realistically, both should go, but I'd keep Martial over Weghorst.
Oh, wow. Okay. What would you say? If you were Man United.
Well, Martial, for all his detractors, and I understand why, body language is never too good and he doesn't stay fit long enough. Games to goals is decent.
Yeah.
His numbers are good. You know, he gets assists, he gets goals. And actually, you're right, in this running, he could be crucial because Weghorst ain't contributing goals-wise.
Even half an hour against Newcastle.
0 goals in the Premier League, Weghorst.
Yeah,
so far.
two goals in his.
Martial's numbers are better than people think.
When he plays, he impacts the game.
Yeah, he does.
And he's only played about 4 times this year, but every time he's impacted the game.
Yeah, man. I mean, the only other people struggling are Chelsea with their strikers, isn't it? Really? We've got Matisse in the background over here. Okay.
Catching strays is not even
Catching strays is not even on the show. Who are you choosing as a striker? Michael Owen or Robbie Fowler?
Oh, they're going to kill me. Do you know what? I'll go Michael.
Okay.
I'll go Michael. It doesn't mean I don't have love for Robbie because he's a ledge. And I had the privilege of playing with both. But I caught Robbie just after probably his best.
Yeah.
You know, he had a few injuries. He was in and out a little bit. And I was with Michael at his best.
Yeah.
And the big difference with Michael to most strikers is the big games. Turns up. Always turned up. But Robbie, I mean, the most naturally gifted I've ever played with.
Really? Even more than Michael Owen?
Yeah, see, Robbie was 2-footed. Brilliant in the air. Scored a lot of headed goals. People don't think because he's small. And just what a character as well. Do you know how good he was with those lads because I went to Liverpool when Robbie was somebody I was a fan of.
Watching.
Then I'm playing with him. It was weird. You know, you have this inferiority complex. Whereas Michael, I kind of went through the process with.
Yeah.
But Michael was the most ruthless striker I've ever been in the company of. Yeah. If he didn't, it doesn't matter how many he won by, if he didn't score, he's fuming.
Really? You never gave the impression.
I'll tell you a quick story. We beat Arsenal once when
FA Cup final?
No.
That
was that on your.
That one haunts me, you know.
Yeah, that was a lucky one.
Yeah, that was Owen again.
That was a lucky one.
Yeah.
We beat Arsenal 4-0 at Anfield once when they were in the pump. It was one of those lucky everything went in and we just had one of those games. Michael didn't score. He was in the changing room, dressed and out and gone in about 3 minutes.
Wow.
That's what you call elite mentality striker in terms of needing to score. Rude, man.
He had the same
brilliant.
kind of...
Robbie Fowler was unbelievable though, but I would agree that I would just go Owen in terms of like. I don't think Michael Owen was like the most like polished striker in terms of link up play, build up, etc. But in terms of knowing where to be, and especially when he was young, just came on, he was a live wire.
Oh, he had 4 or 5 years, mate.
Brilliant,
joke.
The best.
If Robbie sees this, he's gonna cane me.
Hopefully he does. Next question: who's winning the league this season? Man City or Arsenal?
Arsenal.
Say that again, Flex.
I think Arsenal win the league. I've thought Arsenal will win the league for quite a while, actually.
Why didn't you tell me? Because every time I see you,
I don't need to tell you.
Every time I see you, you don't reciprocate.
Every time I see you, you're at Man United games. I'm asking you why you're there. That's why.
Hiding.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got work to do.
But no, I just feel that it's different for Arsenal this time. I think that every time they've had these hurdles put in front of them of, to be fair, justified questions.
Yeah.
Justified questions. And there's still some more to go. The only thing stopping Arsenal from proving it is time elapsing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What happens when they get a big injury? Well, Gabriel Jesus was out for 4 months and look what happened. They were absolutely fine.
Eddie Nketiah steps in,
Eddie
does a
Nketiah
brilliant
steps
job.
in.
And even when he was out and Gabriel was out, Trossard's playing false 9, like...
Fine. What happens when Europa League starts and they got more games, where they finished top of the group and they were still top of the Premier League?
And then we got knocked out as well. So now
exactly. Yeah. You could argue that. What happens if they lose a couple? You know, lost to Man City. Difficult comeback, bounce back against Aston Villa. So I know why everyone is still kind of saying, a lot of people are saying City, they've just got it. They can go on this 15-game unbeaten run. And City are in their bag now. They've showed they're ready.
It's a bit scary.
It's a bit scary.
You saw.
I'll go on record, and I've said this, and I've played for Tottenham, so it's hard for me. So I got hammered for this, but I'll stick by it. I want Arsenal to win it.
Do you? Yeah. What, just for the league?
For all sorts of reasons.
Or?
Yeah, the way they've played, the progression of the young player, the mixture of young players that they're bringing through, the way they play football, the good of the Premier League. Who wants one team winning it all the time? But I think City will win it.
Do you?
You think City will win it?
I didn't till the weekend. The level of football they're capable of when they're at it, when they get angry. And I've seen them running.
Do you think City will win every single game from now to the end of the season?
Yeah. I hope I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Give us flowers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in the Pep's team, like...
But if Arsenal do not win the league, I mean, going out of the Europa League, blessing in disguise, it's fine. We can focus. We got a 12...
We don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about that.
12 cup finals, all of this stuff.
Don't paint a narrative
just
that doesn't
imagine,
exist.
I'm just saying, imagine, I don't know, Man United finishing 3rd with a trophy or 2, and Arsenal finishing 2nd in trophyless. Imagine Man United having a better season.
I've already bought
from this position.
I've already bought a Premier League trophy. You've seen it. I've sent it to you on WhatsApp. Next question: who are you taking as your midfielder? Paul Scholes or Steven Gerrard?
I'm sticking with my guy, Paul Scholes. I do believe that Steven Gerrard, because he played in teams that weren't as good as the Manchester United teams, I think he had to do a lot more. I understand that. But in terms of being a master of their position, I just think Paul Scholes is just unbelievable.
What position did he master?
Just central midfield.
But you know, he played for so long as like a 10, really.
Yeah, he was when he.
When Veron played, he played as a 10 more. And he, but look, I love Scholes. I've played with him and against him, and Stevie as well. The difference between the two is that Scholes can't do what Stevie does. Stevie can do what Scholes can. And what I mean is, when a game needs grabbing by the scruff of the neck, whether that's smashing into someone, running over someone, like pressing high, scoring a screamer. If you look, Stevie, Champions League final, dragged them back on his own. Yeah. FA Cup final against West Ham. Scored again in the UEFA Cup final against Alaves. Scored in the League Cup final against Man United when we beat them. In the big games, he's always turned up. Now, Scholes, this ain't saying Scholes ain't a brilliant player, because he has tampered with me many times. But he doesn't have the same qualities. Now, if you're talking about dictating a game, tempo, Scholes can do it, but Stevie can do it. Stevie can sit in midfield and dictate a game. Scholes could not have done for Liverpool what Stevie did. Could Stevie have done for United what Scholes did all day, every day, and twice on Sunday?
I see why people go with Steven Gerrard, but for me, when it comes to even, people like Xavi have spoken about their favourite midfielders. People like
Iniesta. Well, they weren't coming up against Gerrard regularly.
Yeah, but they were coming against Scholes, and they were knowing greatness when they saw greatness.
Well,
Pep
said the other day. Pep said the other day that
putting it on a plate for people.
He's up there with the best. But let me give you a little. My view on this a little bit. Scholesy is one of the nicest lads. Sharp, friendly. Even when you play Liverpool United, we can chat to Scholesy.
That goes against him. In that.
No, it goes with him because this is where everyone loves him. You don't just love footballers because what they do on the pitch. When you like someone, there's a likability thing. Stevie's a scouser who's tough and hard and upsets people and doesn't, Scholesy's liked by everyone because he's a top fella. Stevie's a bit more ruthless. So when you're looking at other players' opinions, you've got to take that into consideration. Yeah.
That's a tough one, guys. Let us know what you think.
I thought he was going to throw. I thought you were going to throw. I thought you were going to throw Partey in there.
You just say Vieira.
Yeah, Partey. Wrong position. Well, you guys know my answers already. Who would you say is the best right winger at the moment in the Premier League? Saka, Mahrez, or Salah?
Saka. He's been unbelievable this season for me. Yeah. I know the longevity of the other two, especially Mo Salah, that's why Mo Salah's certified bona fide world class. And I think that Saka is on his way. His trajectory is on his way to being world class. I don't think the sample size is big enough yet at a high enough level. We need to see Champions League as well. I was really impressed with him in the World Cup, went to all the England games in person. And actually that France game was where I went.
Yeah. Any level.
Yeah, any level.
He's right.
I just think he's brilliant. And actually he's up there for Player of the Year.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah. No need to add any more.
No,
we'll go. That's all good. Which clubs have disappointed you the most this season and why? Chelsea, Liverpool, or Tottenham?
Well, obviously for me, Liverpool. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. Nobody saw this coming. It's been a real fall off a cliff. You can't hide behind it. I thought initially it was maybe a bit of complacency, bit of hangover from last season. Thought, they need something to spark them into life. Even the World Cup break, I thought they'd come back refreshed, but it's just got worse. And I think the owners are going to have to plough some dough in. Got to get rid of a few. You need half a dozen gone, 6-7 players are going to have to go. Some are out of contract, free up the wage bill. But yeah, Chelsea is a shock. But Liverpool...
For all that money.
Yeah.
Chelsea's a massive one as well.
But there's more reason behind it when you think new manager, loads of new players.
Yeah.
It's hard to juggle that.
A lot more change.
Liverpool had continuation, investment. The manager decides this is a squad I'm going with. They had Gapco. Who else did they sign? Signed someone else.
Nunes in the summer.
Nunes, yeah.
Big
So you didn't think there was going to be this fall off. There might be, they might not win it.
Exactly. But 30 points off Arsenal.
That's crazy.
30.
And also insipid in the Champions League. The cups, they won both last year, gone out of both. Yeah. It's been a disaster.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely agree. In terms of the top of the shocks, basically. Yeah. You can look at Spurs and say Spurs are kind of...
Probably Leicester's
that was
another
always going to happen. Yeah, Leicester's been really bad. Although, I did say at the beginning of the season, as soon as that transfer window closed, I covered that transfer window quite a lot during the summer and what they were doing or lack of. And the best things that Leicester could do was retain players like Tielemans, like Maddison. Obviously, Maddison injuries. Tielemans hasn't been at it as well, a few injuries as well. But I just feel like Brendan Rodgers reached a maximum shelf life with that team and wasn't back to kind of freshen it up. But
didn't replace Schmeichel.
To be honest with you, he was going downhill since he was linked with United a couple of seasons ago. It just hasn't worked for him. Because that season he won the Community Shield, and it just
FA Cup just fallen out. But he's still done a brilliant job.
Man.
I think he's a top manager twice as well.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, last two questions. Yeah. Where will Harry Kane end up and why? Tottenham or Man United? And I say Tottenham because it's like every year.
Do you know what? I got asked this a couple of weeks ago and I thought he'll stay now. I did. And now...
Was that before Conte went?
Not just Conte going, but they're falling off, aren't they? The fans are disgruntled. The squad looks... they're not playing well. Probably not going to be in the Champions League by the looks of it. I don't think so anyway. I think United and Newcastle will get those. And I think that'll be enough. If they don't get in the Champions League, I think he'll go United.
Okay. And yourself?
I
mean, you guys are,
you can't go anywhere else.
Osman's a target.
See it, yeah. Exactly. Listen,
you could keep Weghorst.
We can't keep Weghorst.
Yeah.
A lot of Man United fans.
Would you take Ivan Toney?
He's a good player, but is he?
I'm not sure about the top draw when it comes to it. I love Ivan. I think he's wicked. I think he's strong. He's proper. He's shown a lot of promise.
Don't love him enough.
Nah, I'm not.
I think the club for him is Chelsea, personally. I think I was screaming for
What
that.
about Tottenham if Harry Kane goes? Man?
Yeah,
That's
I've heard
a shout
that.
as
Yeah.
well, actually.
That could be a
That's
good
a
one.
shout as well.
Yeah. But
It's
some
not
Man
the
United
same,
fans,
though.
just quickly, some Man United fans actually don't want Harry Kane. They say, no, he's 30, he's too much money. Daniel Levy's going to charge extortionate amounts.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't understand it. If you how you don't want Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I think Harry Kane is guaranteed to get
Goals.
25 goals every season plus.
There's no one else you can sign who
Unbelievable.
can guarantee you what
Exactly.
he's going to give
Osman's
I think-
brilliant, but it's a big.
I think the only question with Harry is, looking at his age, I'm not saying he's like mad old, but will Man United win the league
yeah.
within the time
The
he
next 2
signs?
to 3 years. I think the way it's going with Eric Ten Hag, if he gets the right stuff, why can't they
you.
compete?
Depends what his
That's a
options are, because Tottenham aren't going to, are they?
I said, no, definitely not. That's a shout. Okay, last question. Who's your Premier League player of the season? Haaland, Saka, Odegaard, or Partey? Yeah, I did that question.
got Odegaard and Saka in there. I think it's going to go on who wins the league will get my final vote. I think
Really?
it's a bit hard. I think it's that tight because with what Haaland's done,
Even though we don't
Numbers-wise.
like his style of play, you can't take away the
you can't take that away.
It's just ridiculous.
And even his style of play, I don't even get onto it that much. Listen, as a centre forward, right, as a number 9,
know, but
you're
it's-
either a nut. There's throwback number 9s. There's different types of number 9s. You could be a Bobby Firmino number 9, dropping off the front, linking play, bringing people into play. You could be a Gabriel Jesus type number 9, work your socks off for the team, facilitate the team. You're not the top scorer, or you can be a Haaland who just your job is to score goals, take minimal touches. I've seen when I saw Haaland in the flesh, right, when they battered us 6-3, I thought, right, let me see for myself what's going on. 4-0 halftime. I thought he hardly touches the ball. He gets one touch together. Gives it, spins, I'm off. Sharp. And then when he gets into gear as well, he is quick.
I think
fast.
Very fast.
You
Very
make a
fast.
great point about the end of the season. So, for example, if there's 3 games to go on the level points and Haaland goes hat-trick,
and then they win it.
You got, yeah.
you can, yeah. But
Which is possible.
I'm actually going to throw one out there. I think the biggest impact on any team is Odegaard.
Yeah.
I think what he has done, he knits together them, and he's there's so many games where I've seen Arsenal not quite at it, and he's the one. He's the one that takes the ball in dangerous areas and tries those passes. You know, I'm going to make that pass. Some of his passing, his disguised passing, is splitting the defence. He's the one that takes responsibility when others are a bit, Now, Saka could come into that conversation.
Yeah.
I get it. But he plays wider. In the middle of the pitch, that's where you have to have the most balls to keep getting on the ball. And he has been in sensational form. And so many times I watch him and I think, whoa, what another performance. And it's like, now it's become expected. Saka's getting all the headlines. Martinelli did early on. Even in the middle of when they talk about the midfield of Arsenal, it's like, Partey's where Xhaka's done. Odegaard, some people giving him, but I think he goes under
top.
the right. I think he is the difference between in the goals for tally. I know he does his defending, but the goals for tally, him, in terms of his goals and assists, and also dictating play, has been the biggest impact on Arsenal's progression.
I wouldn't say goals per se. I think goals, Saka's the one that surprised me when it comes to the goals. I mean, he's really stepped it up, you know what I mean? But I think you're right in terms of the glue for the team.
He's been really annoying. You know, when we beat
with the
Arsenal
armband, by the
3-1
way.
Yeah, exactly. He's
the
captain, and he's captain
responsibility
for
of
Norway
that
as well.
armband.
When we played our Old Trafford, right, and we won 3-1 though, when I saw Odegaard in that game, I went flipping heck.
Player.
And then obviously again at the Emirates, I was looking, I went,
Is that where they got the lucky goal again, like they did against Man City?
who? Arsenal.
No, United.
No,
They got Arsenal scored, didn't they? And they got disallowed when he was on the side.
Yeah, because he pushed Eriksen over with 2 hands. And it was Odegaard who gave away that foul.
Guys, listen, I want to wrap this up because of time. I want to say thank you very much for having you here, Flex, Daddy Murphy. We'll have you guys back soon. You mesh well, man. We got to do this when there's a Liverpool United game. So I'm always thinking about Arsenal. Liverpool United game. But yeah, no, it's good to have you guys. And yeah, more content with you coming soon. Make sure you check them out. The links are in the description. See you soon. Peace.